Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Chatterjee, and this video we are going to talk about a very interesting topic called schedule apex. Right, so if you are a developer, you have been writing code every day, right? You need to know what is called schedule apex, because this is a deadly feature that we use more or less in every project every day. Okay, so let me just explain a scenario first, like what scenario this schedule apex thing will come into the picture, and then we'll just quickly explain like 2-3 lines of code. This is very easy to implement thing, right? We are not again writing big lines of code for this schedule apex. So schedule apex, let's understand this theory first. Okay, so schedule is if I give you a situation, right? Suppose you have written a apex class, right, and you want to call that apex class, that business logic that you have written inside the apex class. If you want to call it suppose every day, after 5 minutes of interval, right, or every day every day after 1 hour of interval, right, or every month or every year, some particular business logic that you have written inside your apex class. If you want to call that thing not immediately but on a certain time, maybe like in a day 10 times, in a month 10 times, whatever it is, that thing you schedule with something called schedule apex. If you guys are, I hope you guys know what is Salesforce admin, right? So we do the same thing in flow and process builder, workflow, though workflow and process builder is not in the game right now, but we had something called time dependent workflow, right? So what is this schedule flow, time dependent workflow? This does the same thing. If you have some set of configurations which you want to call after certain times, then you have to use this schedule schedule flow or time dependent workflow. Same thing in apex. If you have, like for my recent scenario that I had implemented for it's a hotel industry, right, and they used to send the invoice every month, 30th of the month, right? So we had to write a schedule apex which was actually calling a apex class where we had written the business logic to calculate the payment and send that invoice to the customer. So every month, 30th of the month, end of the month, we used to send that invoice to the customer through the schedule apex. Correct? So theoretically, whenever you have a situation where some piece of apex code that needs to be executed on a certain time, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever, you have to use schedule apex, right? So schedule apex is again, like we have explained the batch apex. If you have seen that video of us, right, we have explained batch apex is basically a piece of code which has already been written for you. You need to know what is what in that code, and you have to just tweak a little bit. Same thing like schedule is also been written by Salesforce. I'm going to explain the same code, like 3 lines of code, which will help you to schedule a particular apex class on every hour. Let's say it's how much, what is the time right now? It's 12:16. So it's 12:10, 12:20, 12:30, 12:40. So every 10 minutes of interval, I want this particular a class, maybe it's a batch apex or some apex class, to be called, to be executed in every 10 minutes of the hour, right? So this is what my requirement. See, when it comes to schedule apex, again, like batch apex, there is an interface available called schedulable interface. If you see the screen, right, schedulable interface. If you look at my screen, this particular interface named schedulable, right? This interface has again only one method, that is called execute method. By the way, this execute method is different than the batch apex execute method. So this schedulable execute method, what it does is basically it is actually doing the magic, right? The magic means the calling that particular apex class or batch class on a certain time. We don't even know what's there inside the logic, what's exactly happening, right? So Salesforce has given us this interface which has this method called execute method. All you need to do as a developer is your class, like for me, there's a class I have written called explain_schedule apex. This is my class. This class is implementing an interface called schedulable, okay? And because this schedulable interface has a method called execute method, by the way, this execute method, if you see, is actually expecting a different parameter than the batch apex execute method, right? Both name are same, but the parameters are different, okay? So this execute method, what you have to do is you have to call that batch class or normal apex class right inside this execute method. That's it. Okay. If you ask me how do you get this code, it's very simple. If you search here schedule apex in Salesforce, in the first link, if you go here in the first link, you get this code. So you don't have to, work very hard to get this code, right? So this code is available. All you need to do is copy this code, understand what is the schedule level interface, what is execute method, and all you have to do is you just have to call your apex class, your batch class, whatever it is, right from inside your execute method of this schedule level interface. All right. Now this part is done. Okay. Now there is something that you have to know that is called cron expression. So cron expression are basically, you are just telling the system that, hey system, you're gonna call this particular schedule class on every hour 10 minutes interval. For that you need to write cron expressions. So let me just open my anonymous window. I already have written this cron expression for you. The process to call the schedulable class or the method, somebody has to do this manually once. Then the schedule apex will wait for the time when you actually have schedule, and then it will automatically fire. But for the timing, for the first time, you have to invoke that schedule class. You are doing what? You are invoking the schedule class. Now the schedule class will run on whatever time you have specified. Okay, so let's understand this cron expression. Okay, I have cron expression is nothing but a string. Okay, that you have to define, and I have taken basically a string named next fire time. Okay, as per my requirement, this schedule apex method has to be executed every hour 10 minutes of interval. So if it is 12 o'clock it will run, 12:10 it will run, 12:20, 30, 40, 50, and 1 o'clock. Again 1:10, like this every hour 6 times it will run. Okay, so for that the cron expression is basically, it starts with second. This is the second parameter, this is the minute, this is the hour, and this is the day, month, and year. If I have to schedule this particular apex class in every 10 minutes of the hour, then all I need to do is 000 means, let's say 12 o'clock it will run, 0010 means 12:10, 0020 means 12:20 0th second, 0030 means 12:30 0th second. Like this, in every 10 minutes interval, this will keep executing. Okay, so this is how you have to build your cron expression. Okay, if you have to build this cron expression not for 10 minutes of interval, if you want to do it for every day, then you have to change this second, minute, hour, and day. Now whatever you want, you have to keep changing this star, you have to replace with whatever number that you want to replace with. Okay, so this is how we have to create the cron expression. Once your cron expression is done, all right, so let me ask you this question, right? If you understand this cron expression, what do you think if I have to call this schedule class every 60 times in an hour, like every 1 minute my schedule method will be executed? What do you think, what should be the cron expression? Every minute my schedule apex supposed to be executed, what should be the cron expression? How many cron expression you need? So you need basically 60 cron expression, because every minute, right? So this is the minute part, right? So 001, 002, 003, like this, you have to write 60 expressions, and then you have to call the schedule method. You're getting me? So I think you now know how to build this cron expression. Once you're done with that, the next thing is the schedule apex class name is what? Explain underscore schedule apex. So you just have to create a reference variable of this class. The class name, whatever you give, the schedule class I'm talking about, okay? Not the class which you are calling right from the schedule. No, the schedule apex class, you have to create a reference variable which I have given as obj, and then the actual schedule will be done by this method called schedule method. This method belongs to this class called system class. So system.schedule, it required 3 parameters. First, whatever name that you want to give. Let's say I'm just giving here schedule apex started at 0th minute, then schedule apex started at 10 minutes. Whatever name that you want to give, you have to put it here, and then here you have to give the cron expressions. Means I have given here, this is my expression, right? And I have given it here, and then here you have to pass on the reference variable of the schedule apex class. Again, remember, this is the schedule apex class, and inside the schedule apex class's execute method, I'm calling my batch class. So my batch class will be executed every hours, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes. So for that, what I have to do is, once my cron expression is ready, I'm going to copy the same line. How many times? 5 more times. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And every time I'm going to give like, this is 10th minute. So what I'm going to copy is this Control C, Control V here. This is 20th minute, 20, right? So I'm going to copy this 20th expression, paste it here. 30th expression, paste it here and give a name, proper name like 30. 40th expression, Control C, Control V here and give a proper name 40th. You're getting me, right? So, every time you have to copy and paste the same line, because it's not that you just write it once and it will be done for every 10 minutes. No, as I said, if you want to schedule it for 60 times in an hour, then 60 times you have to copy and paste the same thing, and 60 times you have to create that expression, cron expression. Okay, so I've done with till 40. Let me just quickly create another 2. So 40, this is 50, this is 60, right? Sorry, I don't have to give the 60, right? Because I've given 0. So from 0 to 50, it's total. Done. So now what I'm going to do is, let me just quickly enlarge this just to make sure you guys can see the entire screen. So check this. First thing is I have instantiated my schedule apex class. Second thing is I have created the cron expression. Third thing is I'm just executing it with the help of schedule system.schedule method. Now all I have to do is Control All, execute highlighted. This is what I'm doing it from the anonymous window. Okay, so make sure you are familiar about anonymous window, right? And it just comes with Control E. Okay, I'm using Mac, so it comes with the Shift, Command and E. All right, now I have executed it. Let me go and check the schedule jobs. If I refresh, check this out. I went to schedule job, from setup, search schedule job, and this schedule job section will show you all your 0th, 10, 20 minutes of thing. Now let me explain this. Okay, just quickly check this out. See, first thing is schedule started at 0th minute. 0th minute is what? 11:55 a.m. I have submitted the job, right? Actually, this is taking Los Angeles time. So currently Los Angeles time would be like 11:55 a.m. So I have submitted on 11:55 a.m. which should now my job will start at 12. Why? You see my expression, right? What is my expression? Expression is 0th minute of the next hour, 10th minute of the next hour. Again, this is how it works. So now see this schedule data. 11:55 a.m. I have run that cron expression job, right? And it has been scheduled for 12 o'clock, 12:10, 12:20, 12:30, 12:40, 12:50. And again 1 o'clock it will start if you keep doing it. Getting me, right? So this is how you have to write a schedule apex class which will implement this particular interface which has this execute method. Inside the method you have to call your batch class. Now this particular batch class I want to execute in every 10 minutes, so I have to do this particular process. Now what happened is exactly at 12 p.m. the schedule apex will be invoked. Remember, the schedule apex will be invoked at exactly 12 p.m. 12 p.m. means this particular schedule apex, and inside the schedule apex we have this batch class. So batch class will automatically invoke because the schedule is getting invoked. Getting me, right? So next schedule jobs will fire at 12 o'clock, then 12:10, then 12:20, right? This is how my batch class job, where I have actually written the business logic, will be executed in every 10 minutes. And this is the job of schedule apex. Getting me, right? By the way, this you can find in schedule job. Just search here schedule schedule job. And if you go to apex job, right? By the way, apex job, if you go here in the apex job shows you the schedule and the batch apex both. Okay, so check this out. 11:55 a.m. I just have scheduled this particular job. It is in queue because right now it is 11:56 or 57 minutes, right? So it is still in queue, right? And what is the class name? Explained schedule epic. That's my class name, right? This is what been scheduled for 12 o'clock. So it is in queue right now. What if I abort it? Let's say, there's an option. So where is that schedule job? One second. Let me quickly go and abort this, right? So if I go to the schedule job, and let's say I don't run this, by the way, okay, then I can go and delete this job from the schedule job. The moment I delete this job, right, let me just quickly delete all the jobs. You will see the Apex job status, which was queued, it would be refreshed and changed to aborted once you delete all the jobs here. Do you see aborted? Why? Because you just delete that job. Okay, this is how you have to schedule, you have to check the jobs. And one more information I have to share here. See, you know what, if you want to change something here, let's suppose I have written some comment here, right? If you want to save it, no, you first have to deactivate the schedule class. See, you got an error. You cannot change anything inside this schedule apex class, which is actually implementing this method, this interface, because this class has already been scheduled. Understand what I'm saying? So if you want to change something here, you first have to go to the schedule job, delete all the jobs here, make it empty. There should be no job schedule where this class belongs to, and then finally you can change the class name or whatever you want to change. So if the class has already put on schedule, right, then you cannot change anything inside this apex class, right? You have to go delete it and do it. Okay, so long story short, schedule apex is a way to execute a particular apex code on a certain time. We normally do this for, we do this a lot for archiving the data, right? Recently, one of my customer was actually overloaded, with the old customer data, right? So they said that, Rajesh, like every Saturday evening, because nobody use our system on Saturday, Sunday. So every Saturday evening, our, there should be a job which will run and, deactivate the old customer which is not activated in the platform since last 6 months or 7 months. So to deactivate the customers which is not active since last 6 months, we have written some Apex code. Now to call that Apex class and then that business logic every week, Saturday night, 7 p.m., we had to write this schedule Apex. Got it? So this is the story of schedule Apex. Again, I'm going to share this code and you can just go through about schedule Apex. Salesforce has their own, tailored is given, and if you go to the developer.salesforce.com, there's a proper developer guide given by Salesforce on this. You get every single information, whatever I said to you over here. So that's it for schedule Apex class. Next video, we're going to talk about something called synchronous and asynchronous job. Thank you. See you in the next video.